Uh, guess who's back? You know it's part 2, Jaz Afrodite, and we're here for you. We're talking about things that are a little bit deeper. Hip hop is coming through your speaker. You know how I go and how I flow, and I want you to know lyrically the bad bro off the top of the head. It's like tic-tac-toe, and you don't even know the type of ill flow. The NYC, the poetry, you be inside of me. You see the B, the IGE. That's the nickname, bro. Since 7 years old, laying up the board, yo. Playing b-ball, flipping for y'all. Don't you understand lyrically? I'm bigger than them all. Jazz, tonight we'll break it down so you will see about an R&B sound. A dope soul singer, a real bringer. Angie Stone, she was a real ringer. Black brother, can't you see? She would bring it so dope and bring it for me and you, the people. There is no equal. R.I.P. Angie, there's no sequel. You spit bars, so I hold you down, and you'll be singing and you rep the town. I love that soul. We miss you so. Tonight we're about to break it down on the show. Knowledge.
Knowledge.
What's some hot bars tonight?
That was.
Oh my goodness. I surprised myself a little bit. How you guys doing? It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstro, back with another episode of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast, episode 372. Ooh, that's a 12-3 communication. Me and Jazz, and we both have the Capricorn moon, so you know what's going to happen tonight. I present to you guys the amazing author, jeweler, astrotheologist, cardologist, and so much more, and a singer herself, Jaz Afrodite. Welcome back to the show, Jazz. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much, Big E, for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I'm so glad you're here and you're feeling pretty good tonight. Last time you played under the weather and you were a warrior and you held it down. And it was so insightful and amazing, Jazz. You know, the audience, you know, a lot of people that watch me and our great friend Baba Lloyd know you well, and some other people, you know, are still getting to learn you from my channel. But I want you to kind of just introduce to everybody all the work that you do, because when I say you're an author, it's like not even just an author. You create courses, you know, kind of really teach astro-numerology and cardology to people. So just kind of explain like the nuance and the je ne sais quoi of Miss Jazz.
Oh, I love that. Ooh. I don't think we have all the time that's necessary, but I am an astro-numerologist, like you said, and I combine numerology with astrology and cardology, which is the study of numbers and cards. And what I do is I'm a healer. Ultimately, I call myself a healer, and I use these sciences to heal people. I use it through the courses. I have written 3 books. One is a memoir that infuses numerology. So I'm breaking down my real life and showing how the numbers have predicted events that have transpired in my life. Is very riveting. So if you're interested in a good summer read, go and grab it, Knocking from the Inside. And then based on that, I have written 2 numerology books, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded, and Numbers Spelt, Cards Dealt. So the books teach both numerology and cardology. So if you want an entryway into understanding all 3 sciences, because I do talk about astrology in the book as well, that's the entryway. And then I have my jewelry line, which is a numerology jewelry line where I am making the numbers in gold, 18 karat gold, silver, platinum, only because I want us to get back to our royalty and to wear our wealth. But also precious metals are highly programmable. And so you can program your precious metals to manifest whatever it is that you desire. And so I just call myself the healer, singing because that's my ultimate love, passion. And I do that as part of the healing as well. You know, sound is frequency, frequency is energy. And so it's all infused in one big thing, one big umbrella that wraps up neatly and beautifully. And I couldn't ask for a better reality right now.
I love that so much. And, you know, you're the Taurus sun and Capricorn moon. And what's your rising again? Is it Cancer?
Cancer.
Cancer rising. You know, and that's that in itself, right? Right now is a doozy having that Pluto in the 8th house in Aquarius. Cancer risings are really going to be going through some deep stuff. So you have got some really powerful information for us tonight. And I just, before we kind of get into the presentation, share with the audience just sort of your initial, I guess, thoughts and appreciation of Angie Stone, right? I mean, her being the Taurus moon and the Sagittarius sun sign, we're not sure of her birth time, so I wasn't clear on her rising, but she is Pluto, Virgo, Neptune, Scorpio, and her Uranus is in Virgo. So she was a little bit before the Uranus Pluto conjunction in Virgo, but
Right.
more like 63ish, 64 to 67. Very
Right.
powerful healing generation, those people in those 3 to 4 years there. But, you know, her Uranus was early at 61 in Virgo, but still very, very powerful. What are your thoughts? I mean, we know she was so amazing. So tell people who may not even know anything about Angie Stone, like, what was her story? Like,
It's interesting. I haven't even done the deep dive into her full story. I'm sure it's all encompassing, but what we do know is that she was part of the first female rap group, The Sequence, and she was also in the first R&B group. She was with two gentlemen. I forget the name of the group, but the song "Seems You're Much Too Busy." That song was my jam back in the day. But Angie Stone just has a very maternal and majestic energy.
yes.
And when you see her and you hear her music, she doesn't overdo the singing. She
Mm,
just knows exactly how to use her instrument, and she's just so comfortable in her skin. And I just love the fact that she has shaped and honed so many other R&B singers. She worked closely with people, higher execs in the music industry, which we'll discuss when we get into the breakdown. But she
exactly.
was like the litmus test for
Yeah.
new R&B singers coming in. They would always pass them by Angie Stone to get her approval as to whether or not
They were legit.
they were legit. And so having that say, having that know-how, having that wisdom is powerful. And she didn't overdo it. She was just so humble about it. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes people who are so majestic, the humility gets in the way because people tend to take it for granted. And we'll see when we look at her name, people did sacrifice her in terms of her niceness, in terms of taking
Yeah.
advantage of how much she knew and just how calm and laid back she
Yeah.
was,
And
and
she
just
was
how
so
giving,
grounded, right? And
very
funny that
grounded.
you say that, because when you think about the Sag sun and the Taurus moon, it's sort of like a little bit of that in conjunction energy, but she was very, very practical, pragmatic. Like, you felt that Taurus moon. Like, when I
Mhm.
brought up the chart in my head, I was like, I knew it. Like, there had to be some Taurus energy, because she was very sultry, very sensual,
Sensual.
you know. And it's like, and don't, you guys don't get it twisted, it's not sexual. Sensual is, you feel as if, like, the Taurus energy, number one, Taurus women are way more spiritual than people give them credit for. You know, you're Taurus, so you know, but it's like,
Yes.
the sensual aspect is like really tapping into all five, six, and, you know, there's even beyond six senses. And you felt that with Angie, with her lyrics, her words, and her voice. And so, like you said, she just was in the pocket always and in the cut. And famously, people know she dated D'Angelo, the R&B singer, and they had a child. She had two children, and just really fascinating. So, you know, you want to say hello to everybody in the chat before we get to the presentation?
Yes. Let's
Who's in
get
the building?
into it. Who's in the building? So, Simply Velma. Yes, she was with the group Vertical Holds. Yes, thank you,
Oh,
Simply
Vertical
Velma.
Hold.
That's
Yes,
the
yes,
name of
I
it.
remember that now.
Mhm. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Teresa Miller. Good to
Hey,
see you,
Teresa.
Teresa. Hey, K Love. Yes, my girl. Hey, K
Okay,
Love.
love.
Hi, Lakeisha Phillips. How are you?
Hello,
And we
you
got
guys. Welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. And if you're new, please subscribe. Yeah, I love that the audience, you know, can chime in and help us out,
me
because
too.
I could not remember Vertical
The
Hold.
Vertical Hold. Neither could I.
But it's like, once you hear it, you're like, oh, yes. You know, so, and then also, for people that don't know, you know, she wrote a lot of those raps herself with
She
Sequence.
did.
And, you know, they really set it off. And, you know, a lot of people, even from, you know, Sugar Hill Gang and stuff like that, they don't, Sylvia Robinson, they don't always give Sequence the credit, you know, for really being the trailblazers for female group in hip hop, you know. And then
Hmm.
also like Pebbly Pooh and other female MCs that came on later, like Roxanne and Shantae and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
Angie, just a trailblazer.
Yep,
So,
ahead of her time.
oh yeah. So let's bring up, I'm gonna go to the to the
Hey,
board.
Mama Miss.
Okay. Hey, Mama Miss. I'm gonna go to the boards here.
Okay.
Let's bring up the stuff so we can see. Of course, I don't know why it's not. Okay, there we go. No. Okay, there we go. Because Jazz has got
There we go. Nice.
powerful presentation for us. Jazz, take it away.
Yeah. All right. And feel free to chime in. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
Angie Stone, born December 18th, 1961. She's 63 years old, and she transitioned March 1st, 2001. So I'm just going to break down her numbers really quickly. So as a Sagittarius 9,
Mhm.
her best numbers were the 9, 3, and 6. 9 because she's born on the 18th, 3
Okay.
because that's the number for Sagittarius, and 6 because that's the artistic numbers, 9, 3, and 6.
Wow.
And women who are 9s are usually like the singing divas. That's like your Whitney Houstons, your Mariah Careys. And so they are the women with the pipes.
Okay.
And then her stress numbers were the 2, 5, and 4 because these numbers directly oppose the 9, the 3, and the 6.
Okay.
And now, looking at when she transitioned, there were 9 people in the car
Ooh.
on the day that she transitioned. She was 63, which is a 9.
9, yeah.
And then,
can I just say real quick, for the
yeah,
audience members, if you haven't noticed the patterns, and I'm not saying that everybody's supposed to be aware of this stuff, but there have been multiple famous people, celebrities that have died this year on a universal 9 year, right, Jazz? With the age of 9, whether they were 72 years old, 54, or 63. There's been quite a few, right? And so that's pretty fascinating in itself.
It is, but it's also very intentional. And interestingly enough, with the 9, 9 predicts accidents. So 9 are not predisposed to diseases. They suffer from accidents, car accidents, accidents with guns, knives, explosives, trips, and falls. And so,
Is
with
this
her,
also for life path 9s like me?
yep, also for life path 9s.
Well, I've definitely had some accidents, but nothing with a car, knife, or gun. No, thank goodness.
Right? Exactly. Then she was in a 12. Well, when it happened, we were in a 12 through universal month, and Big E just spoke about the 12. And the 12, although it's a 3, these compound numbers, 2-digit numbers, have specific meanings. And 12 is a number of the hanged man, right? And so when you look at the
Oh,
12, that's the hanged man in tarot. So someone who was sacrificed for the benefit of others, for the financial gain and for the benefit of others.
right.
And so this 12-3 was definitely telling in that way. And then she was in an 11 personal year because I do the personal years from birthday to birthday.
Okay.
So she was in a 38, which talks about divorces, arguments, quarrels, heavy separations, and so a lot of contention and arguments behind the scenes. 11 also talks about hidden dangers and obstacles and betrayals, and so having to overcome huge obstacles with that 11 personal year. So a lot of people gravitate toward the 11 master number because it's the visionary, but it's the
Wow.
wounded healers, and so you are going to be betrayed in order to get to that next level of elevation.
And see, when you say this, Jazz, like it immediately like shoots that Sag arrow in my heart because I know that she was trying to get, her audit, right? Just like Whitney Houston. And
Mm-hmm.
that means you guys musically, when you get an audit, it means they go through all the books, all the publishing, all the residuals, all the royalties that were never paid out to the artist that the record label owes the artist. Right. And
Absolutely.
that was going to be a lot for someone like Angie, who was constantly producing, writing, and did her own thing. But I mean, I think in some ways, Jazz, am I correct? Like her writing and some of the co-producing was almost outdid just her own albums and singing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what she was speaking about when she was hopping on social media pretty much every night, talking about what she was owed. And so
Wow.
we'll tap into that when we get into the cards because
Okay.
the cardology definitely shows that. And so she was in an 11 pinnacle lesson. And so again, that 11 energy, and she was in this energy for the rest of her life. And so bringing
Mm.
awareness, but also being subject to these betrayals. But ultimately, the 11 is the card of justice, and that's what she was seeking, justice for herself.
Wow.
And so when we get into her name, Angie Stone, I'm using the Chaldean because it's just the first and last name. And
Okay.
Chaldean, it comes out to a 39. And so 39 is the number of longevity, good health, companionship, love on the higher level. But on the lower level, it talks about brutality and pain. And then that 39 again, when it's reduced to a 12, you get that sacrifice number, the victim number. So I always tell people the name is one of the most important things, because while you have these numbers that do bring luck, that do bring prosperity, if it can be reduced to a 12, you never really get away from this sacrificial energy.
Really?
Mm-mm. I've been in a 39 relationship, and you feel the sacrifice.
Can I ask you a question? Is the Chaldean older than
Yes,
the?
it is.
Okay.
It's older than the Pythagorean, and it only uses numbers 1 through 8.
Oh,
It's the Babylonian system, whereas the Chaldean is the Western system. It uses numbers 1 through 9, and it is mapped to the alphabet.
do you
Whereas
have a preference when you are working with clients in terms of what you use, or do you kind of go back and forth to both?
I use both all the time because I'm like you, Big E. I want to see everything that there is to see. I'm going down the rabbit hole to
Yeah,
disclose it all.
I love that. That's awesome.
So now let's get into the cards, because I know a lot of people have questions about the cardology. And so this is what we call the grand solar spread. And this is the grand solar spread for 63, because that's the age that she was when she transitioned. And so looking at her birth card, the easiest way to find the birth card, if you don't know what your birth card is to take the number 55, that number is standard, and
Oh,
you're going to subtract your month times 2. So December times 2 is 24. And then you're going to subtract the birthday number, which is 18, and we get 13. And 13 equates to the King of Hearts. And so her
I just did
card,
mine in my head, and that mine was like a 47, I think. And so that
oh,
makes,
you're a 47? Okay,
I
so
think
then,
so.
so you're a 6 of spades.
Oh, but you told me I was an ace or something, or is
You're
that a
Ace of
different thing?
Diamonds. Yeah, you're an Ace of Diamonds. So how'd you do the math?
Oh,
So
I
you're
was doing the 55.
minus 18 because you're September,
Yes.
minus 10.
Oh,
So that's
minus 10 from
27.
18?
You're born on September 10th, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So 55 minus 18 minus 10, and that comes out to 27. Yeah, so that's the Ace of Diamonds. That
Oh,
cancels
okay.
out.
I guess okay. I got to 47. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yeah,
I did it the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, I'm still learning this, you guys.
that's fine.
It's so fascinating, but okay.
So
So
she's the
she was
King
the
of
king,
Hearts.
king of hearts. Okay.
And the King of Hearts is the card of the performer. It's also the card of generally like the knight in shining armor or the father figure. But because she's the King of Hearts and she's always in front of people singing, her job is to perform. She embodies the energy of the performer. And so we're going to look at what was happening in her spread at the time of her passing. And so,
Hold on, wait. Before you get to that, can I ask you a quick question? Because it's
absolutely.
something deep when you said that, the father figure, because Sag has a lot of wisdom to it. And if you
Hmm.
guys remember, she started dating D'Angelo when he was pretty young and coming up in the
Yes.
industry. And people were like, whoa, this older sister is with this young little pup boy. Like, what's that about? But she was kind of like, almost like not just his like kind of like his wife or his lady, his woman, but she was very much teaching him the game and the business and like a mother, like instead of father figure, like a mother figure to him in a way. You know what I mean?
Yep. And she
So,
was.
and that represents that with her card. That's
She
beautiful.
was. So on plate 63, she is sitting in the house of the Ten of Hearts, which sits in Jupiter and Mars. And so,
Mm.
Jupiter is the planet that expands its growth, and Biggie definitely jump in. And Mars is the planet of taking action, initiative, but it's also the planet of war and confrontation.
War and accidents, separation, blood, yeah,
Hmm.
and the adversary.
Adversary. So she's sitting in the house of the Ten of Hearts. And when I say sitting in the house, that means that this is the house where this would be on the life spread. This is the house of the Ten of Hearts. But
Mm.
most of these cards get to move around the spread every year. There are 3 cards that are fixed where they stay in their square, they don't move.
Okay.
And that's the Jack of Hearts, the King of Spades, and the Eight of Clubs. And then we have some semi-fixed that swap where they have twins. But for the most part, the rest of us, we move around the spread. And so we get an opportunity to feel what it's like to sit in somebody else's energy.
Okay. Okay.
And so she's sitting in the house of the Ten of Hearts. So that card is supporting her. And the Ten of Hearts is the card of being in front of large groups. And so she's performing in front of large groups. And that was the energy that she was going to be in for the full year of 63, constantly on the road. And she was performing in front of large groups. In fact, that's when she
Wow.
passed, coming from a show. What's challenging her is the Jack of Clubs. And so when you sit in a house, you have a card that supports, and that's the card in the bottom right. And the card in the bottom left is the card that challenges you. And the
Okay.
card that challenges you represents the pure spread. The pure spread is the spread like if we were living in a utopian society, in a quintessential world,
Right.
this would be perfection. And so we're always striving to get to that utopia, and that's why it's a challenge. And so with that Jack of Clubs, that's challenging her. The Jack of Clubs stands for speaking your truth with authority, the spoken word. Hip hop is the Jack of Clubs. And so that was challenging her, her coming on social media and speaking her truth with
Mm.
authority.
Wow.
So now,
And
go
it's
ahead.
kind of funny because you're saying Mars, Jupiter, right? That would kind of give you the fuel to share your truth, your wisdom, beliefs, and philosophies,
Absolutely.
with authority and like being brave and courageous. That's Mars.
Yep. Brave and courageous and not caring. You are going all out and making sure that you get what you are owed by any means necessary. So she was ready for the fight. And so when the house that she was in, now when we look at the yearly spread on 63, every year that we have a birthday, we are dealt a new set of cards. And we have 13 cards in our set. And so we have 52-day periods where we're in a different energy. And so during March 1st, when she passed, she was in her Venus cycle.
Ah,
And she had the Six of Diamonds as her main card, which is the card of karmic debt,
really?
paying financial debt, or getting financial debts back. So Six of Diamonds is all about debt,
And guess
monetary
what
debt.
Venus is, right? Relationships, vehicles, and money.
Exactly.
Wow.
So she's dealing with the Six of Diamonds, which is supported by the Eight of Spades. And the Eight of Spades is the card of overcoming obstacles. It is using your grit, your determination, your willpower, that eight energy. Eight is very strong minded, and it's going to succeed no matter what because it just has that mental power. And so with that Eight of Spades, she's like, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to overcome these obstacles. But she was challenged by the King of Clubs. And the King of Clubs is the card of the master of communication, somebody who's very intellectual and smart and well spoken.
Right.
But it's also the card of an authority figure, a bully, somebody who is like very abusive. It can be abusive.
Okay.
And so in cardology, when I teach my students, I'm like, okay, so if this card is challenging her, this King of Clubs, who would this King of Clubs be? And the way that we do that is that we look for the house of the King of Clubs and see what energy is sitting in that house.
Mm.
And so on the spread, if I look at the house of the King of Clubs, I have the Nine of Clubs. And she was fighting with her record label. And what was the record label? Does anybody know? Put it in the chat, folks. If you know what the
Is it like Clive Davis's label, J Records, right?
it's bigger than that.
Oh, was it
He's a part of this.
Arista?
It's
Arista.
not Arista. It's
No?
nope. Who
Okay.
knows in the chat? I'm gonna give you guys a minute and then I'm gonna move forward because time is of the essence.
Yeah.
But she was very vocal about this, nobody putting it, Universal Music Group.
Yes.
And so with the Universal Music Group, who is the president or CEO of the Universal Music Group? And
That's
just put
Lu-
his initials
I think
down.
that's LG.
Exactly. You know
Yeah.
who LG is, right,
Yes.
Ricky? Exactly. That's why I put just LG. We don't want to put no real names. No, don't spell it. And this is for educational purposes only. Let me just say that.
That
Everything that
is
I'm
very true, you guys.
I'm just teaching a lesson.
And we're
And
just
so,
having a little fun.
exactly. So, who's sitting in the house of the King of Clubs? This LG character. And so, he was the abusive, the aggressor, the person who was keeping her from her millions. And what's challenging him is the Two of Spades, and that's the card of work partnerships. And
Mm,
so, their work relationship was definitely challenged by her going out and speaking publicly about what she was owed and not being paid.
yes.
And he would be the one to dole out that cash. And so when we look at her speaking out, the Pluto card is the Seven of Hearts. And as you know, Big E, Pluto is the planet of destruction. It's coming to see what's not working and it's cleaning house.
It's purging and detoxing. But it also
Mhm.
reveals the secrets and whatever, in Pluto, you can't really lie. It's gonna bring it up.
I love that. And that's what she
Yeah.
was doing. And the Seven of Hearts is the card of betrayals. And
Mm,
so betrayals about being an artist, because she was supported by the Three of Spades, which is a card of artistry, person who was
okay.
very artistic. And what was challenging her is the Six of Diamonds, the card of, again, karmic debt, financial debt. So she's speaking openly with this Pluto energy about being betrayed, about not getting the money that she was owed from all of her artistry over 40 some odd years. And as you mentioned, Big E, she's not just singing and performing, she's producing, she's
And writing,
writing.
yeah, the
Her
publishing, that's the
publishing
real money.
alone, the
Yeah.
publishing is where the money is.
So, honey, Jazz, can you pause for a second? Can I ask you a question? Because what's fascinating is I'm looking at an outer ring of this, and I see sort of the repeating, right, of the Saturn and the Jupiter, and then I see the Saturn Jupiter up here, same with Uranus
Mhm,
Neptune,
mhm,
and then we got the Mars and the Venus and Mercury.
mhm.
So we don't look at the Sun and Moon in cardology, and then what is the meaning of kind of the duplication of certain planets on both sides of the scale here? Or
Okay, so we do look at the sun and the moon. The sun represents her birth card, so the King of Hearts is technically her sun card.
okay,
So, and then the moon is the card that appears to the right of the sun. So in this case, it would be the Nine of Diamonds right here. And
ah,
so the moon card here is the card that pushes you. It's the energy that is like the catalyst. It motivates you for the year. Like it's not a part of the 13 card spread that we
okay,
get on a yearly basis, but I look at the moon all the time. Like I really have an appreciation for the moon card because I want to know what my motivation is going to be. I want to
yeah,
know what the energy is going to be that's going to motivate me and have me moving through this year, navigating it. And the Nine of Diamonds, as her moon card, is the card of giving, losing money or giving money or gaining money. And so with the Nine of Diamonds, as Lloyd is, he's a Nine of Diamonds,
right,
that energy has to give to receive.
ah,
Their luck comes from giving to others. And the
yeah,
more that they give is the more that they receive. But
wow.
they also lose money on the opposite side of the spectrum as well. So if you're not in that benefic humanitarian energy, you stand to lose money with that nine of diamonds because nine does
So
represent
there's
loss.
that karma with it, like you wanna be
Exactly.
nice, play nice, and be nice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
And
that's
it's
why Lloyd is so generous, right? With his time and with the people, and it's great.
it's interesting. I'm glad you brought up that with the moon card because on this spread with this nine of diamonds is sitting in the house of the four of spades. And you had mentioned someone earlier that she was working very closely with
Hmm.
in the industry, and he is a part of Arista. He's
Yes.
part of the. He just recently came out as the ABCD community, right? With his use those initials CD.
Yes.
And she's sitting in his house. That nine of diamonds, that's her moon card, is sitting in his house. And so he stands with all of this that she's doing. He stands with this nine of diamonds to lose money because what's challenging this nine of diamonds is the ten of clubs, which is the card of the master teacher, conferences, podcasts, going on and
Ah,
just speaking about, and that's what she was doing. She was going on social media and holding court on her own channel.
wow.
And so he stood to lose money from that. And so what I love about cardology,
Are
it
those
doesn't,
videos still up, do you think? I'd have to
yeah,
go
they're
and
still
check.
out.
Okay, I wanna go see what she was, yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah, she was just still up. And so that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that moon card up. So the moon card was definitely pushing her in. She's like, listen, I need to get my money back. That was her motivation. So now with this Pluto, the Pluto and the reward go together. So after the death and the rebirth, and if you have rose to the occasion
Hmm.
of Pluto, you do get your reward. And so by her speaking about the betrayals of her not receiving what she was owed, the reward is the Seven of Diamonds, which is one of the semi-fixed cards. Seven of Diamonds and the Nine of Hearts are twins. The Seven of Diamonds is the card of the millionaire. So she was standing to get millions
Wow.
as a result of that, and her wishes would have been granted had they allowed her to live.
Wow. That's, you know, stuff like that, it kind of breaks your heart, right? Because
But
some people don't realize how little these artists get. And especially since we've gone to, the streaming platforms, they, I mean, I think it's a million streams just to get like $4,000. Like it's nothing. They get nothing.
exactly.
And so it's really shameful. And you're talking about the big artists get nothing. Imagine what the little independent artists do. So it's really the industry has been co-opted and just snatched away, where you would get a percentage when you sold a CD, an album, right? You're getting points on the album. You would get like a percentage. Let's say if an album
Hmm.
is 9 or 10.99, you may get $1 or two of that. At this rate, you're getting like nickels.
Nichols, but it's crazy because most Def, well, Yasin Bey
Yeah,
was on a podcast with Talib Kweli, and he was arguing. He's like, "Who decided that you can have a fraction of a penny? Like,
yeah,
who did that math and came up with that? Like, that's not even currency. A fraction of a penny. Like,
yeah.
how would you
No,
even compute that?"
it's absurd, and you know, people could say what they want about him, but I'll give him credit for at least speaking up. I don't know if it really affected anything, but Snoop Dogg did come out one time and said something, like, it's, the math ain't math, and I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting and on the Spotify and all these things. But I think as a collective, you're going to see a shift, just like in Hollywood with independent films, as the music industry starts to come more united and really needs to unionize. You're going to see, and also where artists say, hey, forget it, I've got a name, I will go from my website direct to consumer myself. And I
Hmm.
think that's fortunate for those that are already famous enough, but that's what needs to really happen, for these artists, because the destruction of their livelihood it's absurd. Like, to me, I would tell somebody now, like, are you crazy? Never sign with a record label
Never.
for a multitude of reasons, right? But also, like, do something else.
Hmm.
Be an actor. Do other things. Let your artistry and your music, so you could stay authentic and true to yourself. Let that be your second or third stream of income. Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. You had asked a question earlier about the repetition of the planets, and so what you're seeing, because I have it zoomed in, we
yeah.
can't see the full spread, but on the right hand side, you're seeing the planets here, and that's just denoting what row it's in, and on the bottom is denoting what column.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's you'll see the positions there. So with this seven of diamonds is sitting Saturn, Saturn. And so that's just
And
giving
you
you more
said,
context.
okay, no, thank you. And you said not everything switches each year.
Yes, not
There's
every card switches.
three that are fixed, and then two that go to their opposite. You said,
Yes, two that have twins. So the seven of diamonds and the nine of hearts. And you can tell these semi-fixed because one of the karma cards, the one on the left, is the same as the card. So seven of diamonds is the main card. Its challenging karma card is itself. And then its twin is the nine of hearts. And so that's how you can tell that this is a semi-fixed. These two only flop between those houses. So the seven of diamonds will sit in the nine of hearts house one year, and then the nine of hearts will sit in the seven of diamonds, and they'll just go back and forth
that's
every year.
fascinating. And how many
Yeah.
houses total? Is it similar to the zodiac wheel and the birth chart of 12 or no?
Oh, so we have 52 cards,
Okay,
and so you have essentially the 52
houses.
houses. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it goes by the deck. Okay, I didn't know if you paired up and shared a house or anything like that. Okay, that's fascinating. I hope you guys
Yeah.
are taking notes on this and learning. Jazz is a master teacher.
Thank you,
Oh my
Biggie.
gosh, it's fascinating.
We have a question here from Mark Matthews. He said, "Hi, Jazz. I had a random strange experience the other night when I went to the store. As I'm walking up the street, I see one card on the ground, a Jack of Hearts. There were no other cards nearby." So, Mark Matthews, that's a beautiful question. And I will tell you this: the universe speaks to you through cards.
Mm,
And when you get into cardology, you will see on the street cards on the ground. To answer your question, the Jack of Hearts is one of those fixed cards in cardology. It does
yeah.
not move from its house. The Jack of Hearts is the card of spiritual sacrifice. And so I'm
Mm,
not sure what you were thinking about that night, or if there was something that you have to do to get closer to your ancestors or to make some type
mm.
of spiritual offering. But the Jack of Hearts is saying that you need to do some spiritual work.
Okay. Remember, Saturn's coming back into Pisces, Mark Matthews, and hello, my friend, September 1st. And so that is us making sure Saturn's coming back to say, how you guys been doing? Are you doing your
Mm-hmm.
spiritual discipline every day? Are you having the healthy boundaries and not letting any energy vampires in your life? Are you practicing compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy for yourself first, then outwardly to children, spouses, relationships, loved ones? It's this is the final cleanup. And remember, it's a long transit. That's what I'm teaching this Saturday at Coffee Talk. It is September 1st to February 20th, 2026, you guys.
Wow.
So Saturn's coming in to really kind of like, point everybody out and check on everybody, turn on the lights at late night at the party at 2 a.m., right? Who's drank too much? Who's doing this? Saturn's like, what's going on here? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were home in Aries, like y'all were partying, acting wild. Saturn Pisces, the old grandma's coming and like, baby, it's time for you to go home. What's going on in my house? Who's doing what? Oh, is that you, Melissa, over there drinking in the corner? Oh, what's up with that? Michael, that's Saturn Pisces, right? Coming to make sure you've been handling your business.
Business.
Yes.
But let me ask you a question too, Big E,
Okay.
because I'm Saturn in the first house. Would you say that if you have done the work and Saturn sees Melissa in the corner partying, wouldn't Saturn give her a little bit of grace and allow her to stay in the corner a little bit longer? Like she's put the work in, so
Listen, this is the greatest question because when you honor Saturn, and we live in a Saturnian matrix bubble, if you notice the elites and different, businesses, corporations, the black cubes, Saturn, the black robes, judges. I mean, come on. Saturn is, this is what, a lot of people honor. And so in terms of think of the earrings and the rings and the finger, that's all Saturn. So when you honor Saturn in a positive way through what? Responding to your abilities. The sign
mm-hmm,
and house tell you that discipline, structure, organization, hard work,
mm-hmm.
right? Saturn, you guys, will bring you always more rewards than Jupiter and Venus, the benefics, ever can. And
Agreed.
remember,
I
it's
say the same thing.
it's a karmic teacher. So, like, don't play with Saturn. I don't care if you're up on your first or second, third Saturn return. Saturn will rock your world. Okay. So, you really want to. And that's why when I tell people when it's coming back to Pisces, even if you already had your Saturn return, right? It's not going to go so far in. So, let's say your Saturn return was at 21 degrees. This may go in, even in that, it's going to be there for like those 6 months. It's only going to probably, I haven't checked, but I think it only goes to 25 or 26 degrees. So, it's coming in, but then as it sets in for a little bit, then it's gonna like go back. So it's really Saturn's the stern grandma or stern grandpa.
Yeah.
It's the authority, the restrictions, the limitations, delays, anxiety. So no fear. Don't fear any planet, any energy. Don't fear nothing.
That's
Okay.
right.
Fear nothing. Like, but when you work, like Jazz said something earlier, you guys, everything is frequency, energy, vibration, right? Just like sound. And so when you kind of understand that in this universe, then you realize Saturn is Saturday, right? And then you realize Saturday is the day of spiritual discipline, right? The Sabbath, right? It's also that Saturn also represents machine. So it's a good day to also work out. But if you think about it, right? If you work, let's just say, I remember when I was teaching in the Bronx, I worked my regular like 9 to 5. Saturday is the day I did what? I went to the
Rest.
cleaners. But I would have to. I clean
Have
my
to do
house.
the work. Yeah, the
I'd go
chores.
run my little errands. I
Mm-hmm.
had to go to the
Mm-hmm.
grocery store, get things I needed, get to the bank,
Mm-hmm.
do whatever. Bank before it closes. Like, you got to run around New York City early on a Saturday
But
and
you do.
handle your business. But that's what responsibility. That's Saturn. You see how that works?
I love that.
So it's very powerful. Like, you guys really want to align yourself with working with the energies of the days of the week. It will change your life for the better forever. For real.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ashe. Ashe.
Yes.
Yeah, so Mark Matthews, that was a dope question with the cards.
Yeah.
I'll just
Thank
share
you, Mark.
a quick story. So you guys know I have the jewelry line and I have my mentor, and he was leaving to go to Kenya. Like, we had a crash course. He was teaching me how to do the jewelry, how to make the jewelry, who to go to and everything for like a month. And then he just like, oh, I'm going to Kenya, and just broke out. And so
Oh my God.
And so we had that last conversation, and we were talking about Lloyd and how it was so beautiful to be connected through him. And then we were talking about spirituality, and he was telling me, ramp up your spirituality, make sure that you are fully protected when you come out here. When the work is done, you leave and you go home, and just make sure that you're saving, and you always have prosperity, and always share the information.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking down the street, and I'm feeling really melancholy and sad, because it's like I'm working with him for a month, and then he's hopped on the train, and then he's gone, right? And
Right.
not
Right.
even like it's going to a whole other continent, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm walking down the street, and I look on the ground, and I see playing cards,
Oh my
and
God.
I see the first card, the nine of diamonds.
Wow.
That's Lloyd's card. We were talking about
Wow.
Lloyd connecting us.
Wow.
Then the next card in the sequence is the Jack of Spades, spirituality, spiritual
Whoa.
initiation. Then the next card in the deck is the King of Diamonds, prosperity and wealth. Then the next card in the sequence is the Two of Clubs, which is my transformation card, but it's also sharing and teaching information. And so I'm like, wow, I hear you, universe. You're telling me that I'm on the right path and this is what I should be doing. You're confirming our conversation. So I go to the bank, get the money, and come back and walk the opposite direction. And I see the cards in the reverse, but I didn't see the first card in the sequence. And the first card in the sequence was the Ace of Diamonds, me. And so if I had any question about whether that message was for me or not, it was definitely for me.
That's
And
amazing.
and so when you start using these cards in cardology, they speak to you, and the universe will throw playing cards in your path to communicate
And tell the
messages.
audience, we could just start. You get like a regular, normal deck of cards, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
You can get a regular deck of cards, but you won't be able to see the placements of the cards as you would on the grand solar spread. So when rappers and everybody says it was written, like Nas is always like it was written.
Yeah.
This is the epitome of showing you that it was written. And so for every yearly sequence, you have vibrations that have already been predetermined based on a method that they call quadration. But these energies are pretty much scripted for us in the grand solar spreads. All we have to do is know how to read them and interpret them.
So, Jazz, when was cardology like created or found, or like who? Do you know the origins and the history of that?
That's a great question. I definitely believe in the 1800s. We have books that date all the way back into the 1800s. And
Wow.
so I can share some texts with you, but there's definitely so like the Mystic textbook is one. The Mystic test book is what it is, not text, but test
Yeah,
book.
that's what. Okay.
And there is another one with the I have it in the top of my mind. I use this every day, and now I'm drawing a blank. Sacred symbol of the ancients. And so there are books that have been written a long time ago that breaks the science down, but who had
That's
access to it
fascinating.
then, right? So he's always been in these secret societies,
Yes.
and so now we're exposing it and showing it to the world. But moving on with the breakdown,
Yeah.
so the controversy comes in because folks were saying that she had a mentee who wasn't really taking heed to the lessons that she was trying to bestow.
Ah.
And the mentee felt as though she hadn't reached the level of success and fame that he, in this case, thought that he could. And that mentee is rumored to be her son, right? Because her son is a rapper.
Her son's a rapper?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Who's her son?
Exactly. Who's her son? His rap name is Swavo Twain.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Swavo Twain. And so, seeming to be very ungrateful about his
Yeah.
mother's knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
But on this spread, he's a 10 of clubs. So I had to do some digging to find his birthday. And I always look through people's social media to
Okay.
see when they post and celebrate folks' birthday.
Mhm.
And so his birthday is February 28th.
Pisces.
And exactly. And that day is equates to the 10 of clubs. So the 10 of clubs is his sun card. And
Mm.
so he is sitting in the house on her spread in the two of hearts, two of clubs. The house of the two of clubs is conversation, exchange of information, possibly some arguments. The opposite side of exchanging and teaching information is being very argumentative with the two of clubs. What's
Um,
challenging him is the ace of spades. So I want everybody in the chat to tell me who's the son's father, find his birthday, and find the card for the father of the son. Because when I saw this just blew my mind, and I was like,
really?
"What?"
And
It
his
is
father is brown sugar, right?
brown sugar, baby.
Right? Oh my gosh.
But find Angelo's birthday and tell me what his card is, chat, really quickly.
Was he a Sagittarius too? Oh,
Mm, I don't think so.
okay.
I
Okay.
think he may be Cancer. I
Oh.
think he shares the same birthday with Amanda Seals, I believe.
Well,
What's
let me tell you one time I'm trying to get Amanda on my show. And let me tell you about Amanda, right?
uh-huh.
She told me in a live stream that she's double Cancer and a Virgo. So I think she may be the Virgo rising with Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon.
Really?
Yeah, so I got to see what the internet has for her chart, but she kind of said it to me on the chat. And I've been trying to see if I can get her because one thing that I find fascinating about her, so many people hate on her, but as I've been, I didn't know or pay too much attention to her until after she was on the interview with Shannon and he did her so dirty. But
Mm-hmm.
what I respected about her is her intelligence. And obviously, I used to watch her on Insecure. I just didn't know that that was the same person. I didn't connect.
Right.
But I'm seeing her kind of grow and mature and awaken before our eyes the last year. And it's
Yeah.
really powerful. Like she's starting to get out of the matrix one day at a time.
Yep.
And people are not liking that from her. And they're kind of like hating on her. But I'm seeing it as a positive transformation for her. You
Yep.
understand? Because those
Yep.
other people aren't really awake themselves, and not to judge anybody, but like in terms of like, her claiming like, hey, I'm about the people. I'm not about a party or a system. I'm about reality and truth. And so I really respect that. So I'm seeing her transform and grow. And I'm like, oh, she's almost ready to come on Knowledge is Love.
Yes, she is. And I'm glad you said that in terms of the transformation. She's 44, so she's going through a pre-birth. She's going to have a rebirth next year at 45. We get a new fresh deck of our life cards
Ah,
every 45 years. So she's coming into her own. So she's really
yeah.
having a death of her old self and a rebirth, which is indicative of the card that she is, like D'Angelo. But D'Angelo's birthday is February 11th, so he is an Aquarius.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes. Okay.
Mhm. So their card is the Ace of Spades. And so the Ace of Spade is the card of death and rebirth and transformation.
Yeah.
And so when you said that about Amanda Seals, it's definitely fitting. And they sit on this spread, they sit on a life spread in Mercury and Neptune. And so I always say they are highly misunderstood in their communication and speech in the way that they present themselves.
Yeah.
People don't really understand what they're saying. And they're speaking clearly, but
Yeah.
for some reason they're misunderstood because of that Neptunian energy.
That's fascinating. And when you're at that age, you're going through the Uranus opposition, which
Right.
really will throw you for such a tailspin to get you aligned on your soul's purpose. So we're watching that in front of our eyes. And I just think it's fascinating.
Yeah. So they're both Ace of Spades. So what's challenging the sun is the Ace of Spades. So the sun is being challenged by the father, so he must be having either conversations with the father, arguments with the father. But what's interesting is that he's the moon card to LG. So he's definitely having conversations with LG. And
Ah,
so they are conversing about something. Because if you are ungrateful and feeling like you can do better, and you know better, the arrogance of youth, people just not really understanding the work and the time that it takes to do things. Because when you're
Lord of
young,
mercy.
yeah, people think when you're young, I can just get it done faster. I'm smarter. I know the better way.
You're not know a thing, you understand?
All of that.
You,
All of that.
you fancy pants, you not know nothing.
Don't know your ass from your elbow,
Yeah,
as we
you're in a
spit to the
rush.
last.
You're rushing too, boy.
Exactly. So he's having conversations with LG.
Okay.
They are conspiring.
Mm.
And what's interesting about this is that the Venus card to the sun is his father. And so he is yearning for his father's love and attention and figuring that this can be the avenue. Like, if
Oh,
this
so
were.
he's really being misled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably LG saying, oh, if you kind of boom, boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll get recognized and seen by BAD.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it's not. And to be honest, you know, I don't think that is capable. I don't think that's, I mean, I don't know him personally, but the energy that he portrays, and I'd have to look at his chart. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know if he's capable of what the sun may desire.
Exactly.
That's
And
deep.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He sits Neptune. And when you're sitting in Neptune, and the two of us, we're Ace of Diamonds and we sit Neptune, Jupiter. So people don't see Neptunian folks clearly. We have
Never.
a mystique about us.
Yeah.
And so people look at us through rose-colored glasses.
Right. So
And
they can either try to label us and identify us. Oh, you're so and so, you're this. And I'm like, whoa, 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 you don't know who I am. I'm
exactly.
still learning me. Or people
Exactly.
can idealize you and be like, oh, you're
Exactly.
the best, you're amazing, and put you on
A
a
pedestal that you're
pedestal
like,
that's
I
on
don't
your
think
list.
I want to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I'm like, no, I'm just Eric. I'm just BigEAstro. Astrology. I'm complete. Like, don't put me on no pedestal.
Exactly. So that's what the father's going through. He's like, like I'm not ready. Like you said, he's not ready. So the father is sitting in the house of the Jack of Diamonds, which is the house of the singer, but also somebody who could be dishonest with money. And he's being challenged by the Three of Spades, which is his artistry. And so the father has been laying dormant for some time, right? He hasn't been out making music. But this was a promise, like, okay, this happens, then this will catapult you
Ah.
into the limelight.
And the last thing I remember him releasing was not good at all.
I didn't like that album
I,
either. I didn't
I
understand
didn't.
what he was saying. I'm
I,
like, the
I
music is
thought
jamming,
I
but
was
what is he
so
saying?
disappointed. I thought it was terrible.
I agree. That's what he did with the Vanguard, right?
Yeah, it was not hitting. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I thought it was just me, but I guess that's a New York thing. And so just to look at it, so I said naturally when we see his spread, I'm like, I want to see the energy that's sitting in the father's house. And
Ah,
so the energy that's sitting in D'Angelo's house is the Jack of Spades. And the Jack of Spades is the card of spiritual initiation, going through some sort of spiritual rites of passage and getting to
oh,
a higher level. And
uh-oh,
exactly.
uh-oh.
And what's challenging him is the Seven of Hearts, the card of betrayals in love. And tell
Are
you
you for real?
these cards tell a story.
These cards are talking, y'all. Do y'all see that? Oh my gosh. So don't tell me, like in 2026, all of a sudden he comes back out with a new look and
Yes.
green contacts and blonde hair, and he's doing a
He's out
song with
there.
Ice Spice. And,
Ice Spice
oh God.
and Sexy Red.
Oh God,
Listen,
please don't oh, I
because he
can
was
see it
supposed to
now.
be on tour with the Roots Picnic, because he was supposed to be releasing a tour this year. And everybody's like, oh, so isn't this the year he's supposed to be unveiling? And so apparently he didn't. He got sick, or that's what they reported, that he wasn't feeling well, so he didn't tour.
Mm.
But that's the plan for him to come out.
Or he'll be like secretly on a Taylor Swift track. Well, her new album coming up on whatever that date is. Oh my, it's so sad, and just so you guys in the audience know, we're kind of talking around about a little in code, but If you know, you know. But unfortunately, this industry and business, it is not what it appears to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to maneuver and play by certain rules, and the rules are not in favor of the fans, humanity, God, or the artist.
Or the artists.
Or the artist. So it's just, and so you'll see even artists doing things that you could really tell they don't even want to do, but they kind of are
Mm-hmm.
in a position where they have to,
Got to.
unfortunately. And you can see that now with some of the unraveling of Mr. Justin Bieber.
Oh, yes, yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes. You
so
know, and I know we're going to go off on a tangent, but these conversations are so interesting to me. What do you think about Justin Bieber in relation to Usher? Because people are really getting on Usher about Usher being the one to usher him in, no pun intended.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean, I think first you got to go to the parents, right?
agreed. Thank you.
Usher is not his father; it is his mother. And because of the situation of the parents, and I did at a coffee talk, I did Justin's birth chart, fifth house, Scorpio sun, and Pisces sun, and he's a Scorpio rising. He his parents did a lot of damage even before he got into the industry, which made him more open and prone to be, eaten by the wolves.
Right,
Now, Usher, yeah, no, Usher did do him wrong. I mean, he put him right into the den, to the lion's den, and it's unconscionable, especially with all the reports that people know about with Usher having to go to hospital. So it's very unfortunate. And I'll be honest, looking at his chart, there's a purity of Justin Bieber that I saw, and I actually really feel sorry for him because I
mm,
feel like he has been kind of like a. Remember the old Ken and Barbie dolls? He was like a little young male Barbie doll that was kind of passed around the industry.
yes,
And
agreed.
so I feel like, because when you see the clips in the different interviews, you had grown men and women commenting on a 14, 15-year-old about how cute or attractive they are. And it's like so inappropriate. And this is like regular interviews in the public. Like
Right.
this wasn't like hidden. Like this was like on live television, on interviews, podcasts, radio shows when he was really young. And you could see where he felt uncomfortable with some of the questions himself, but he was kind of trapped. And it's just wrong, you guys. It's wrong.
Mm,
Just like the movement now nationwide by the person down in DC to bring down the age of consent. It's wrong.
yes, it
Okay,
is.
it's
Yes, it
wrong
is.
because if you guys know anything, and I tell you all the time, if I was God or president, I would make the law that really no one should get married till 29 until they go through their Saturn return, because Saturn is connected to the cerebral cortex and the medulla oblongata, which is still forming. No surprise here, Jazz.
Right,
Women mature 2 to 3 years ahead of men. So for women, it starts to mature right before the Saturn return. And it's between like 25, 26 to like 28, 29 for women. For men, some it could start a little early, but for men, it's like 27 to 31. So really, you shouldn't be voting. You shouldn't be in the military. You shouldn't be a lot of things, definitely not married before you at least to get to 28 and a half or 29 or that Saturn return. And I know
right.
just doing that from all my clients and people that I see, I could cut the divorce rate down by at least 60% just with that alone. If you
I
wait until
agree.
29 years old, that would cut down the divorce rate tremendously, especially in this country, but all over the world. It just
Agree.
doesn't work out. It just doesn't. And so and you're not really a functioning adult. Your brain is still forming. So
I definitely agree with that.
yeah.
Caleb says Igun Igun will keep their sun dominated. So Caleb, do you mean Igun Gun as in the ancestors? Put it in the comments. Let me know who you mean by specifically with Igun Igun. And then
Mm.
Alana Taylor, hey Alana says, I think his parents started it. Usher was more of a handler because of what he went through. But he was made to do
Ooh,
to Bieber was part of his
that's a
advanced grooming.
that's a good point and
That's
perspective. Yeah.
that's how I feel. I feel
Yeah.
I have to give him a little bit of grace because he has been indoctrinated into the system as a child as well, and so
Yes,
he
from
pretty
Usher's
much
parents, right? Us.
yeah. So he's brainwashed, and so he is doing what he's told because he is a victim. It's almost like what do you call that syndrome? Stockholm syndrome.
Yes. And he would just take the orders, right? Because he went
Yep.
through it. So he didn't, it's not that he didn't know it was bad. It's just that what else did he know, right? Because
Yep.
see, that's the thing. Once you kind of get in, it's sort of like the mafia, right? Once you get in, like, it's hard to get out.
Yes, it is. It's so scary. So this Jack of Spades speaks volumes. So I said, let me look into the house of the Jack of Spades. What energy is sitting in the house of the spiritual initiation? Three of
Oh,
Diamonds, which is the card of the ritual.
are you for real?
I'm for real.
Hold on, well, show me this again. Where's this at?
So the
And
Three
is
of
this for
Diamonds.
whose deck is this for? Is this for?
So this is still Angie Stone.
Oh,
This
it's
is the
still for
same
Angie.
spread. This is
Okay.
just further up in the spread. And
Yeah.
so this Three of Diamonds is sitting in the house of the Jack of Spades, which is sitting Mars Uranus. And so this Three of Diamonds is the card of ritual. And so this spiritual initiation is predicated on this
Oh my
ritual.
gosh. And Mars Uranus, Jazz. That's like intense.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Caleb says yes. The ancestors absolutely. Goon Goon will have their hands. They do not play. And then the last for this spread is
Wait,
CD.
can I make you laugh? So a long time ago, somebody told me that I won't get too deep into it, but the ruler, or like my ruler, was Obatala.
I could believe that. That's mine. That's one of mine.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I always wear white. I can believe that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
the Batala is no joke.
I know. I know.
And so CD is sitting in Angie Stone's house.
Which house?
And he's sitting in Angie Stone's house, the King of Hearts. So
Oh.
CD, that's just the fact that he's sitting in her energy, and folks have always spoken about his want and desire to become a black woman, to become that soulful, powerful
Yes. Yeah.
entity. And so for the
I
fact that
love how he
he's
acted like he didn't know who
who
Diddy
Diddy
was.
was,
He had amnesia.
I'm like, what?
I was like, I was like, I know you aging, and I
But
know
not like
you
that.
getting a little whatever, but come on now, let's not. That
Come
was
on.
you talk about performance. Oh
Hmm.
Lord.
And what was challenging CD is the Two of Clubs. So they definitely had some arguments coming down to the end because she wanted her bread, she wanted her money. And so that's her yearly spread. The last spread that I'll quickly touch on is the spread that she was on at the time of her death. And so in cardology, you can look at the yearly spread and you can even drill down to the day's energy to see what energy you're dealing with for that specific
Oh,
day.
okay. And you said it was March 1st, correct?
March 1st, exactly.
Uh,
And so she was on spread 12 on March 1st for her weekly spread, and she was sitting in the house of the Six of Hearts, which was the card of karmic relationships, spiritual initiates, and dishonest people. And so, definitely dealing with karmic relationships that week. And her peace of mind with this Four of Clubs was challenged, just having peace and understanding who's who and who to trust, and just knowing and understanding the lay of the land was troubling her that week.
and you know
At the
what's interesting too, Jazz?
Mhm.
March 1st kind of begins the second deacon, the Pisces Cancer deacon, and that's very intense emotions. And Cancer, if people don't know, out of the water signs, Cancer is the one the most like kind of like black out and like eliminate everybody in the room.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Wow.
And what I found even interesting too is that March 1st, LG's birthday is February 29th. And we know when you're born in the leap year,
Oh my! Are you for real? Stop it.
I'm for real.
That is wild. So some
Wild.
years he, uh, oh Lord, he could celebrate whatever he wants, right?
Whatever he wants, either on the 28th or the 1st, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And so she passed on the 1st, which essentially is his birthday. And then the card that she had on that day was the Five of Hearts, the card of difficult separations, divorces, endings of relationships,
Oh.
long distance relationships, sitting in CD's
Woo! Ooh, is this
Sitting in
like was this like
Stevie's
a
house.
wait, was that make you laugh? Was this like a black birthday cake?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, forgive me. Oh,
It's
Angie, we
crazy.
love you, Angie.
We
Oh
love
my
you.
goodness. Mm.
Sitting in CD's house and being challenged by her son, China Club. So she has some duplicitous men around her.
Wow. Have you ever seen anything like this? Did you do this also with Whitney's?
Oh yeah, I do it with everybody. I do it all the time.
Ugh,
I do it all the time, and they get mad because they come into my dreams and do all kind of stuff. They get really mad. So I'm like, I know I'm on point with what I'm saying
really?
because they wouldn't come for me if I wasn't speaking the truth,
Oh,
right?
I
So
know. Yeah.
and so that's I'm always looking at the numbers in the cards. They tell a story.
Gosh, that's like, it gives me chills, but at the same time, Jazz, I guess a couple things.
Hmm.
So when someone hears that and sees all that, it's kind of like I love because you said this on the last podcast with your book. It was a forensic.
Forensic spiritual report.
Yes, yes, I love that. And so this makes me like feel like kind of like, you know, you through the cardology, it reveals so much that it's like it really gives you the opportunity to be that spiritual detective,
Yes.
and so oh gosh, now in my head I'm like, oh my God, did you do this for Michael Jackson?
Yes, I did it for Michael Jackson. I did it for Whitney. I-
Oh
I've done a bunch of breakdowns. I did it for Takeoff. Like I've been doing it for some time. So
wow.
and it
Well,
always
well, the
points
one
to the
that I
same
would care
thing.
about is definitely MJ. That's my
MJ.
favorite. Yeah.
Ah.
Virgo power, man. Listen, I tell people all the time, right? In terms of, let's say, hip hop and MCs, right? Jazz and I can talk about music because she's a singer and I'm a lyrical bringer and stinger. That I would have to give Gemini's number one as
Okay.
MCs. But number two, I mean, easily the top 4 or 5 signs would be Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius, Libra, Sag in terms of the best lyricists and MCs. And you could put them in whatever order you want, but by far, Gemini's number one.
So Gemini's, Virgos, and what's and
Aquarius, you
Aquarius, and
got
then
you got
Sag.
Rakim, J.
Mm.
Cole, Logic. There's others, but Libras, you got Snoop, Lil Wayne, Eminem, Black Thought.
Black Thought is no joke. So
Yes.
who's the Gemini
Oh, Gemini.
MC
You got
that's
you
hitting?
got Biggie, Tupac, Kendrick
Okay.
Lamar, Kanye West, Lauryn Hill, Jadakiss. Um, what else do I have to say? Like that's Gemini takes the cake.
They're all rising, or they're suns, or they're
They're
all
sun
over?
signs.
Suns.
They're sun
Mm.
signs. All of those guys.
Mhm.
And Lauren, who's the best female MC ever.
You think so?
I
Yeah,
do.
I
I do.
agree.
You
I
can't.
agree.
I'm sorry. I love MC Light. I love Remy
Latifah.
Ma. I love Latifah. I like the first album and Nicki and all her features, but line for line, bar for bar, style for style, you can't touch Lauren.
But I kind of challenge you. Bahamadia. What's Bahamadia,
Okay,
son?
okay, okay. So,
Bahamadia
okay,
takes the cake. She's the first.
okay. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. See, it's funny that you did. See, there are no accidents, you guys. So me and Bahamadia rhymed together in a cipher, right, at the New Music, not the New Music Seminar, at the Rocksteady reunion. This was the summer of maybe 96 or 97.
Hmm.
And it was me, her, some kid from Nebraska, somebody else. We were all in a cipher. It was so dope. She was amazing. I love Bahamadia.
Yeah,
No,
she's
I don't
fire.
mean to disrespect Bahamadia. I think she's dope. But I think Remy Ma is just as nice as her. But I think Lauren takes it because Lauren can come in with the singing.
Oh, okay.
You
With the
see?
singing? Okay.
Because
But we're
Lauren
talking
adds.
about MCing though. And I know
No.
MCing
But I'm
is to
saying
the
when you can
crowd, but
MC, but it adds to it, right? When you can MC and then you can break into like a singing and then come back to your bars, like that's next. You know what I mean? Like that's big to me. It's almost like kind of like how I mean I can't think of a male that can do it, but I'm thinking of like the uniqueness and originality of Old Dirty or Busta. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like in terms of like being able to switch and flow and style.
Yeah.
And so, but I think Lauren is really ferocious with the pen. That Unplugged album is one of the greatest, most underrated albums ever.
You like the unplugged? A lot of people didn't like it.
The people that didn't like it, they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
went in. I
She
mean,
did go in. She went in against the system
if
heavily.
you listen to the lyrics
She
line
said,
for
"I get
line,
out. I get
the
out at the
mystery of
bottom."
iniquity, I
Yep.
get out, freedom, like what? Lauren went in.
Mhm.
I can't, I don't even know of too many male MCs that
I
drop
have done that.
lines like that.
Yeah, I
You're
like Just
going,
Like Water.
oh,
Mhm.
water, what? I've been doing them for years. Ooh, don't get me started. I like water. What? So let me ask you this though, because if someone wanted to learn cardology from you, I know you said you just finished a course, but do you
Mhm.
ever teach one-on-one?
Yes, I
Or
do.
okay, so share with everybody like kind of like how that works. And to learn cardology, would I need to know numerology first?
So no, short answer, no. You don't need to know numerology first, but I like to have the numbers as the foundation because the numbers are the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
But I've had students who've come to me and just wanted to learn the cardology. So yes, you can do that. Now the cardology with one-on-one, you can go into my website. It's right in my title, jazzaphrodite.com, and you can book sessions with me. You can do the single session, a package of 5, or a package of 16. It generally takes like 16 sessions for you to master cardology
I was
because
gonna just ask you, like, what's where you can like say, like, I got this, like on average with your students, it's about the
it's
16.
about 16.
Yeah, because 5 doesn't seem like it would be enough.
It's not enough at all because you
Because
have to
that was like,
understand the
I'm
numbers,
like, oh my
you gotta
god,
understand
like,
the cards, you gotta understand the planets, how they're positioned in different placements. It's a lot.
now can you do something, or do you do something where you kind of lay the cards over a natal birth chart and you connect astrology and cardology?
Oh, I've never done that. That'd be fire. That's something that you would have to do. You would have to bridge that gap.
Uh, Listen, you guys, just so you guys know, it's in the works. Jazz and I may be planning a little something for the collective together, maybe in November. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
We'll let you know. But there's always some. Listen, Earth signs. We like to bring things into physical reality, right, Jazz?
exactly. Exactly. Bring it to fruition.
I love it. Okay, so you want to answer any questions, you guys?
Yes,
Um, you know, Jazz, you got a couple more minutes?
I do.
Okay, so if anybody has any questions about Angie Stone, we couldn't find the rising sign, you guys, because it's not out there.
Mhm.
But my best guess, I don't know if it was the mother or the father was a gospel singer. They both worked. She grew up with both her parents. I'm kind of sensing, because of all the ability of the writing and the publishing, I really feel like she may have been a Gemini rising. So it put
Okay.
the Sag sun in the seventh house, and it put that Taurus moon in the 12th house, which would connect her to the singing and sort of that spiritual realm with that Taurus moon. I could really see that. So I'd have to get more time and do more research to investigate it. But yeah, right off the cuff, when I looked really quickly, my best guess would be the Gemini rising. But if anybody out there knows any more about a potential birth time, the Gemini rising would get you like around 7:30 p.m. Eastern, because it was, obviously
Mm,
December is winter,
right.
so right before winter, late autumn. But so that's kind of how that works when the sun is over there. But yeah, see who's in the chat, and then we can see if there's any interesting questions.
Yeah, there are no questions. I was keeping tabs on it when I was breaking down, so no questions. Folks have come in on the tail end and saying that they missed the breakdown. Oh, I want to see the connection astrology and cardology. Yes,
Oh, who wants to
so
see that?
good.
Yeah,
Alana wants to see it.
Alana. Yes, we're gonna, and see, and that's the thing, because you guys, when you take this esoteric, metaphysical, occult knowledge, and you can merge it, you two things. Number one, you see how they all kind of align. They
Mm-hmm.
all will tell the same story. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you're getting a soul contract reading or human design, the themes will repeat, and you're just getting like confirmation, and it's so mind-blowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of people in the audience, they've studied or gotten readings in all these different modalities, and you're just like craniums just like off the head. But at the same time, when you merge them, I really feel in a lot of ways you can create pure magic. like heavenly, magic, because what Jazz and I are kind of contemplating and thinking, like, this is like reimagining, you guys, Alexandria and the mystery schools, and like
Yes.
really coming up with something that can take you on a next level, of information and knowledge, but also insight to yourself, because that's what it's about, right? To know thyself. And I think that's something that we could bring to a different level for you to have a deeper inner, as I like to say, I don't like understanding of who you are and who your soul chose to be. So let me
Agreed.
ask you this, Jazz. In terms of yourself, because you are a singer, um, and you still have to send me some of your music. I haven't heard your work, but what is like your style, or even not only your style personally, but even some of your inspirations, and like how you like to, release or create music,
Mm.
those influences.
So my style is jazz.
Yeah.
My influence is Rachelle Ferrell. She is the best vocalist, hands down, on the planet. I don't care what
Wow.
anybody says.
Wow.
Nobody can sing like Rachelle Ferrell. No one.
Rachel Farrell.
And then, in terms of how I approach music, I like to approach it through the lyrics first, and so my pen gets busy on
Yeah.
those lyrics. And so when I started out with the jazz, I would listen to instrumentals that are obscure and write my own lyrics to it. I didn't like the standards because I felt they were too hokey for me. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is not even talking about real stuff. Like, let's get deep. And so my vocal coach was like, well, if that's what you want to do, find the instrumentals that you love and write your own
So
lyrics.
any Charlie Parker, any Thelonious instrumentals,
Oh
right?
yeah, I have a lot of Thelonious songs that I've written lyrics to.
I
Thelonious is
love
my
Thelonious.
jam.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a birth chart that I really want to do, because I think in terms of like vanguards and rebels, I think he's one of the most underrated musical geniuses.
Yes, he is.
Like really, like it's also same thing with Nina Simone, but Nina Simone and
Yes.
Thelonious, they're like on
Top
this,
tier.
they're
Top
on a
tier.
different island, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
The Thelonious, I've written lyrics to Monk's Mood,
Ooh.
Jackie, because that's my name, Jackie. So I was like, I gotta write lyrics to Jackie.
Wow.
With Charlie Parker, they already wrote lyrics to Parker's Mood. And so I was like, I'm gonna learn that. They call that vocalese when you're writing lyrics over a horn solo, and
Okay.
so they call that vocal ease. So I've definitely learned that song. But yeah, so I approach it through
Fascinating.
the lyrics. So I love to. I'm composing now, but I always start with the lyrics, and then my cosmic brother, he comes over. He's a pianist, and
Okay.
we perform together. And he will help me work out the chords and things and the harmony. But
Woo.
yeah, we definitely start out with the melodies. So yeah, I love it. Lyrics get me. If you can get, you said the writing and
Yeah,
the
the lyrics. No, I'm always about the lyrics. That's why, my wife and other people would joke at me, especially when I was younger and stuff. I've always been a hip hop purist and a hip hop snob, because I grew up in the culture, so I love it and respect it. But at the same time, it's like you rhyme for a reason. I can't take this mumble trap that,
I can't
I just, there's no like, because in the old school days, the mic would never go to them.
never.
They would never have a chance or a right. And in certain circles, they would just be knocked out.
Hmm.
Let's keep it real. That's how it was in New York. Like, like you have to understand, the culture was so that, like, if you were like a bomber, then you tagged and you did graffiti. If those were your gifts, that's what you did.
Right,
If you were
right.
like a b-boy, then you were popping and breakdancing. Right. If you were like so musically inclined and always like doing beats on the lunch table, right? Because we would just like do beats and rhyme at the lunch table in high school, but then you would become like a DJ. And
Yes.
then if you were more verbally inclined and you'd be like, forming the words, then you were the master of ceremonies, the MC. And so
Hmm.
everybody played a position, and nobody was better. That it was all respect. Like
Right.
I respected the B-boys and the bombers, and like, one of my boys, I couldn't tag. I'm like, yo, write my name up for me. And my boy would like, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Because like that's his art form. That's his
Hmm.
craft. And so those are the four pillars of hip hop. And so, I speak hip hop. That's my language. Like,
Yes, it
people say,
is.
yeah, I'm bilingual, like I speak hip hop.
Me too.
And so, it's very, and
We
so,
grew up on hip hop, so that's our second
yeah,
language.
and so it's hard sometimes because people, you know, they'll look at me in a certain way, but I'm just like, you just don't get it. Like, you don't understand. Like, this isn't like a toy or a game to me. This is like who I am. This is my heart and soul. Like, you know. And so as we're leaving, though, can you just give us the energy for like two things? What would be like the card for today, right? August 21st. This is like the end of Leo season. As we tomorrow late evening, we'll get to Virgo season. So for people born on the 21st, or, you know, today, if someone's having kids today, what is the card energy for today? And then after that, what would I guess, thinking of this Virgo new moon for people coming up on Saturday, the 23rd, what would be the card and sort of the energy for that day?
So the card of the day is the Five of Clubs. And so the energy of the Five of Clubs is exchanging information, having conversation, really stepping into your debate hat and going back and forth, but having constructive conversation. Fives are very restless in their energy and they jump from topic to topic. And so having very focused conversation, but just being positive with that Five of Clubs. And as far as Saturday with the new moon?
Yes. 0 degrees, squaring Uranus.
That's going to be the 23rd. Ooh, that's
Yes.
16. So that's the Three of Clubs. So Three of Clubs is the card of the writer. And so
good day for journaling.
Good day for journaling and just taking note of the energies and how you are managing through these transformations. I always tell people when you have the Three of Clubs, it's very important because we're going through a new time with Pluto and Aquarius.
Yeah.
And these are times that we haven't lived to see before.
Nope.
And so we need to sit and really decode and jot down and capture these moments, because otherwise, who will have the records of what it is that we're experiencing? And so with this new moon, tap into the energy and start writing the archive, because
who
we
will
are
have the records.
Yeah.
And for the young folks listening, or if you play it, you guys, so we gotta keep writing in script.
Yes, we do.
We gotta teach it. You know, a couple of my kids know it, but the younger ones, I gotta, you know, just sit down and be like, because you know, Lana was talking about the other day. It's like if you don't do it for a while, like you kind of forget. You lose it. And so, like, I gotta like, because I only type. I don't even write print anymore. But the one thing that I noticed, it's easier for me to write in script than it is print now. Because like that thing never went away, but the print's harder now, just because of my wrist surgeries. But I just think that that's funny. But you gotta keep it. You know, if you don't use it, you will lose it.
So before we go, I just want to answer some questions.
Yes, please. Yes.
Simply Valmacy says, Jazz, what about her daughter? Anything on her? So her daughter's birthday couldn't have been found. We couldn't find it on the internet. But when I had the Decoding Cardology class, we did use her name to her energy to see where she was. And she wasn't directly involved in that. In fact, it was showing that while she is benefiting monetarily or expecting to, she is still heavily grieving her mom.
Yeah. Is that Diamond?
That's Diamond.
Yeah. God bless her. You know, when I first heard the news, immediately it didn't sit right with my spirit. I knew. I just knew.
Yeah. It's GL, Gail. I think that's Gail.
Yeah, that's Gail, yeah.
Angie was sickly. Is that in her card? So let me talk about Angie's sickness. Angie's sickness was not medically induced. It was spiritually induced. And so when you start going against these machines, the first thing that they attack is your money and your health.
Yes.
And so when
it's spiritual warfare. That's what
spiritual warfare.
People talk about World War III, Jazz, and like, we've been in World War III. It's
forever.
The spiritual war.
Forever.
It's been on and popping. And do not ever underestimate darkness and pure evil. It's 24/7, 365. And there are no accidents. That's what I try to teach and train people, Jazz. And it's hard because I don't like, you know, people get so caught up in these terms, right, that people have fed to us, like conspiracy theorists. That's a term that was given to you and put into the lexicon to manipulate and control you from questioning authority and truth.
Exactly.
And so that came up after JFK's assassination. So before you repeat and regurgitate these terms, really think. And then it got cemented with the movie with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts. You guys, that movie they did. So it's like, please, like, don't say these things. Don't give power to an illusion that keeps you confused. That's the Piscean age.
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to close that door so we can really step
See
into the
and
age
see
of Aquarius.
clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Piscean age had everybody in a haze, purple
Oh,
haze.
purple haze is right. Oh,
Not anymore. So
nah.
I want to see it too. I've always been drawn to the cards. They were often played in my home. I do tarot and oracle readings, astrology and healing. I would love to see the placement in the birth chart. Yes, we do want to see that. That's coming. Can you give me info on the 10 of diamonds? So, Mama Miss, the 10 of diamonds is the card of abundance and the windfall. Everybody gets excited with the 10 of diamonds because they're expecting big cash when it comes. The 10 of diamonds says Jupiter, Jupiter. So you are larger than life. Anybody who says Jupiter, Jupiter just has a huge personality, can draw people from all walks of
Oh,
life
Mama
to
Miss
them.
is amazing.
Yeah, and
She's
so people
dynamic.
just gravitate toward you because you are so powerful. My thing would be with the 10 of diamonds, because you are the card of abundance and prosperity, the best way to do it is to learn how to manifest. Ace of diamonds, Big E and I are your Mars card. And so instead of fighting that manifestation energy, learn to tap into it so that you can get things through manifestation as opposed to that hard work and grind. Understand the power of drawing things to you.
Can I ask you a question about that? We're Ace of Diamonds. Are there other cards that are underlaying? Like, like in astrology, we got a Sun, Moon, Rising, Big Three. Is there like a Big Three in cardology, or you just
Oh,
focus on
it's a
the
big
one?
13. It's a
Oh,
big
Big 13.
13. So
Okay.
then you got your sun, you got Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn,
Oh,
Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, the reward, the cosmic lesson, the cosmic moon, and then finally the transformation.
okay. Out of all those, is there one or two that stand out more significance?
I look at all of them
Okay.
because they all have information. Some folks will tend
So
to
it's like the birth chart. Yeah. Every
it's
planet
like the birth,
tells the
yeah,
story. Yeah.
everything has, yeah, because they do. Pluto is one of the cards that I tend to look at. I look at my moon most specifically because that's not part of the spread, but that's again the energy that's pushing me in and ushering me into that year or week. And so I need to understand what that energy is.
Right.
And then the Pluto I look at as well because I want to see the energy that's going to transform me. What's the work that I have to do
Mm,
to get to my transformation? And Pluto is often
okay.
hardest because that's the part that's dying.
Okay. And
That
does
needs
that change as you
it
age? Or?
changes. It changes every year. You have a different Pluto card.
Oh, okay. So each
Yeah.
year, but not every card changes.
Every card, well, the fixed cards stay in their spot, but the cards around them change.
Okay. Okay.
So their spread is different. They don't move from their square, but they have different cards as well. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
It's a
lot.
lot. You guys, Jazz is kind of like a savant and she is the
Thank
definition of a
you.
true Renaissance woman. But I'll tell you, this is the work of a Capricorn moon. There's something about, and I think you would agree with this, Jazz. There's something about the Capricorn moons because the moon is memory, the
Yes.
emotional mind, and
Yes.
Capricorn's moons, our memory is outstanding.
It
You know what I mean?
is.
Like I can this. I don't know if this is relevant to you or not, but I can literally remember conversations with friends and people
Me too.
in like third grade.
Me too. My memory is stellar.
Conversations.
My memory is stellar.
It's like, and so I try to tell in the house, wife and kids, like, no, daddy did not, I didn't forget.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
People will try to make you seem as if you did, but
Yeah. No,
I have
no.
that Akashic record in my brain.
Yeah. Oh, to talk about it. And what's interesting about for you guys in the chat that have it, a Capricorn Sun Moon Rising, one thing that's a good thing about that is one, you always got to respect Saturn.
Yes.
But two, it has the Benjamin Button effect. So as you get older,
We look
you'll
younger.
become more youthful.
And I have Saturn in the first house, so that's
So it's a
definitely
double entendre for you. Oh Lord.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Woo, girl.
Yep. So
Well, Jazz, I could talk to you forever. This has
I
been more
know.
than fun. And, we will let the audience know when we're going to plan our thing. But if you guys want, Jazz and Big E to kind of come up with a nice little webinar workshop for you, definitely, reach out to both of us and let us know because we were thinking and talking about something that could be really uplifting and powerful. to really get you ready for 2026.
Yes.
So I think the middle of November would be the perfect time because, once the
Yes.
holidays kick in, everybody's crazy. So to
Exactly.
kind of get you ready for 2026, to get your soul aligned, because to be honest, Jazz, I always tell people 2025 was the year of sneak previews and coming attractions.
Mm-hmm.
2026, Uranus goes into Gemini for the next 7 years. Pluto's like kind of moving in more comfortable in Aquarius.
Yes, it is.
Saturn and Neptune are like back full-fledged in February in Aries to 2029 and 2039. So we are going to be experiencing alignments that nobody birthed on this earth have ever
I've ever
experienced.
seen.
It's only in the history books.
That's
And
it.
so it is going to be change after transformation after, your mantra better be get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Comfortable. Agreed. And 2026 is a one universal year. So it's all about new beginnings and
New
change,
beginning.
stepping out on faith and taking that leap and just jumping into the unknown and trusting that you're going to land where you're supposed to. So do not second guess. I have questions in the comments about what's the Seven of Spades. That's the card of spiritual work. So if you're Seven of Spades, that ancestry is important to you. That's the card of the
Ooh.
ancestors. So tap into your ancestors, the wisdom. Make sure your ancestors' altars are up to your spiritual work, and just trust that they will guide you in the right direction. Spiritual faith. Have spiritual faith.
I love that. So a little bit of house cleaning real quick, you guys, join the tribe. We have our 6th tribe meeting this Friday, my own private community I built, Jazz. It's really, really awesome. And then the Leo birth chart sale extended to tomorrow night at midnight. Any Leo Sun Moon risings, email me, eric@BigEAstro.com. Virgo birth chart sale begins tomorrow as well. My Virgo Sun Moon risings, all right? And also, I will probably come live sometime Sunday night because I want to wrap up Leo season with doing Leo on all 12 signs. So covering all the rising signs so everybody can come and watch that. And then Tuesday, I've got a returning guest, but this time he's live. If you guys saw last Friday and Sunday, right, astrotheologist Micah Dank was here, but it was recorded. He's coming live to answer your questions about MK Ultra, the Bible, Emerald Tablets, mental telepathy, CIA, near-death experience. He has a book series, Jazz, that you would probably really be interested. It's called Into the Rabbit Hole. And he's a deep, he's Aquarius rising, Libra sun, Taurus moon. So he's
I want to check that out.
Yeah, Micah Dank. So the first 2 episodes of Friday and Sunday, really deep, because he really shows, right, what a lot of us know, that astrology is all encoded in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. It's in the book of Gilgamesh. It's in book of Enoch, Emerald Tablet. Like, it's everywhere. And really that showing how the Bible was truly like a farmer's almanac. Because they had to look at the stars and constellations to survive. They had no clocks. They had nothing. So they had to watch when the moon moved here. Oh, the waters went like this. And then that meant that, right? They had to survive. And that's what it's really about. So, and what did your boy Killer Priest see, right? Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
That's right.
You see? There are it all comes together, you guys. But again, Jazz, thank you for gracing us with your energy and presence. And this was more than wonderful. And I think we did, and well, really, you did, Angie Stone, a lot of an homage to a legendary R&B and soul singer who a lot of us miss dearly. So
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Biggie.
you're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you Sunday and Tuesday. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, maybe 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on my schedule with the family. But I'll keep you updated. All right. Bye, everybody. And sign up for Corporate Talk. Saturn and Pisces this Saturday, 12 noon Eastern. Eric@BigEAstro.com. Only $13. You want to learn about this transit, September 1st to February 20th, 2026. Saturn and Pisces. So email me and you can book it. Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, the whole 9. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jazz.
Bye, Biggie. Thank you, guys.